Alright, let's talk bench press. So, today was scheduled for a 3x3 with 270 pounds. Previous week I did 3x3 with 265, focusing on making small incremental progressions in my benching, with the 3x3 being my main lift, typically very low volume, or at least trying to keep the volume under control. If you saw my video on making progress on the bench, I've figured out kind of what fits best for me as far as the bench is concerned. And in this first segment of the video, you'll see me warm up. And a lot of what I do when I warm up is one thing, obviously, is to improve the blood flow in the muscles, make sure you're ready for some heavy weights, but also more importantly, getting that bar path correct, getting that upper back tightness correct. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a lot of kind of like a weight that's maybe 70% and just do a bunch of singles just to get that right groove, or maybe a bunch of doubles. Here you can see me foam rolling my pec minor. Now this is kind of what I do when I feel something funny in my shoulder. So not all the time, sometimes when you feel really tight or maybe something's not feeling like it should, it's best to kind of remedy it by trying to work on it instead of ignoring it and trying to push through it. So kind of what I was doing, I was just mashing this up. So here's a 225, and I think I just do a single or a double, kind of a little bit of a long pause, just to make sure that I'm ready for the work for the day. And I haven't really discovered if that was going to really affect my strength for the day. It could, I'm sure it might have, as you'll see later. So more rolling out of the pec minor and the front delt. You can see me using a barbell here. This is probably much more effective than using the ball because you can relax on the ground for a little bit as you essentially let the barbell crush into your humerus while it smashes on your front deltoid, and it hurts like a fucking bitch. But I'll tell you right now that it's very effective in improving internal rotation. It's a K-star move, of course. Again, here's 225, trying to focus on getting good technique, good long pauses, and just getting ready for the heavy work. So as you can see, it's continuing to do just a bunch of singles and doubles, and you might say that I warm up way too much, but this is kind of my thought process. I want to perfect my form and technique, and that's the only way I'm going to do well. So here's the first working set, 270 pounds, 5-pound progression from last week, first set of 3x3, and you can see how pretty damn good it looks. At least to me it does. And you can see how on that last repetition, that was about an 8.5 RPE scale, and I'll tell you right now, that was freaking awesome. Here's a second set of 270 pounds. And you can see how it's freaking it's working. You can see me struggling a little bit. Anytime you see the bar get kind of stuck, that usually means the bar path is getting messed up. At least that's what I'm trying to begin to realize. So here, this is actually a pretty good set where you can kind of see it. This is my last set of my 3x3 for the main working sets. And you kind of see how I'm kind of like all over the place a little bit, like my shoulder's not moving right, and I don't get enough horizontal movement towards the rack. So next comes volume work. Here is 240 pounds. And just working on sets of 6, I did three sets of 6 to build volume. Last week I actually didn't do this. I just did 3x3 with bench, and that's it. I probably would have done more, but I had some other stuff I had to do last Sunday. This Sunday I actually had a lot more time to kind of work on it. So I decided to increase the volume. So I seem like if I do a low volume followed by a high volume followed by a low volume, it seems to be working quite well. And I was going to do touch and go, as recommended by Dan Green in the Boss Barbell template. But I was like, you know what? I really need to focus on improving my pause. And you know what I'll do? I'll just do a shorter pause, not quite as long, maybe like a quarter second less. And this is just, again, trying to improve my technique. I don't have a whole lot of pause benching under my belt, not a whole lot of years, not even a year yet. So just trying to get the hang of this. And I don't know if this is the last set, but overall it's feeling pretty good. I don't have the RPE on this, at least not yet. If you check my photography, I have it in the notes section in case you care to see that. But then you can see how I lose position there. Actually, I think I was actually tired. And here's some close grip bench to finish things off. I figure, you know what, I might as well just do some close grip bench while I'm here. I'm very influenced by all kinds of stuff I watch on YouTube. Definitely Bart over at Barbell Brigade, freaking hella strong bencher. I said hella, that's right. And he recommended some close grip benching. And I don't always do these, but I at least try to fit them in at least twice a month. So it just kind of depends on the day. I just make sure I focus on getting the main work done. And in my case, at least for these last 2 weeks, it's going to be a 3x3. And just really focusing on improving that 3x3 and making 5-pound increments every single week until I hit a sticking point. If I have a really poor session with the 3x3 with 275 next week, I may have to repeat 275. So here is some bent over rows. What I typically do on the days that I do bench, I do some bent over rows, and then I do some rear delt flies and face pulls. That's typically what I have set for the day. And I do this, and with bent over rows, I like to mix up the differences of pendulé row, like this is a pendulé row where I let it dead stop at the ground. And I just do standard bent over rows where there's constant tension on the lats and the upper back. I just mix it up, it's a rowing movement. It's not really a competition lift, of course, just meant to kind of build strength. And this is just 205 pounds, so it's really not a whole lot of weight. Just trying to, again, just get some work in, improve my back strength, and just add to it. And here are some face pulls. I thought this would be a good video to kind of input. Later you'll see a kind of a side angle view of kind of the exercise. And I have to say that working rear delts is probably one of the most underutilized movements by a lot of people. At least it's not mentioned enough because it's not sexy, it's not fun to watch, and it's really not that interesting. What the heck? I mean, you just do it as not even as an accessory. You do it as basically prehab. But I have to say that I've been doing it twice a week, every week for the last 5 weeks. This is my 5th week, and I have to say that this has been something that's been really helping my shoulder health. It's been maintaining my shoulder health. You can see how I walk back and forth, and what I'm doing is I'm essentially trying to improve my stabilization on my shoulder in external rotation position because I don't have that flexibility that I like. But the last thing I wanted to say about doing rear delt work and lateral raises and rear delt flies and dumbbells is aesthetics. Why not build the roundness of your shoulder? There's no reason why you can't look good and be strong at the same time. So don't discount some bodybuilding movements. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.